morning, everybody. This is a project share for Nbeads. Nbeads were very kind and kindly allowed me to order some items to use and review off their store. So this is my first video showing what I've made with some of the items. And the first thing I'm going to show you are wine glass charms. Maybe I'll just put that on there. So I've used, I hope that's not glaring, I've used some of the beads and the wire and the charms and the spacer beads that Nbeads kindly sent me. And I'm going to show you how I made them. I'll just open that one up. So I've done a few different ones, just to show you how I've used some of the beads and how I will be using some of the beads. So I'm just going to place these down here. Obviously they're Christmassy ones, but they don't have to just be Christmas. So on this one, I've used the pink cat charm. If you can see that. Some charms have the hook, the hole, the other way round, and they're much better for sitting for the wine glass charms, but these still look really pretty on your glass. I hope this doesn't glare. So that's how it looks. I don't know if you can see that on the stem of the wine glass, and that one I've used the butterfly. So they don't have to just be for Christmas, they can be for any time of the year. I'm just going to move that out of the way in case I knock it, because the last thing I want is a smashed wine glass all over the place. So what did I do? So using the wire that I got from Nbeads, I cut a length approximately about 5 to 5.5 inches. And then I used this, which is my Tonic Studio blender. And all I've done is on the first groove there is I wrapped the wire into that groove, if you can see there. So I've wrapped it into the groove, and that gave me my circular shape. I then just slipped it off and made a hook. I made 2 hooks. So one's a hook and one's a loop. Okay, and then they will join like that. Might have to put it a little bit back into shape. So they will join like that to make the ring of your wine glass charm. And then you can just decorate them as you want. So as I say, on this one, I've used the pink cat charm and the pearl beads and the pink beads and some of the gold spacers. On this one I've used the agate beads, silver spacers, and I've used 2 silver star charms and the candy cane charm. So you can decorate them. If you were giving them out as a gift, you could decorate them for whatever people's colour scheme is for their decorations. This one I've used the grey and the blue. And this one I've used the bigger beads, but the same silver stars and candy cane charms. So that's how I made those. So they're pretty simple to do. You can also buy the rings if you just Google wine glass charm rings, and then you can purchase them as a made-up item, and then you just need to add the beads and the charms. But as I say, they look extremely pretty on the bottom of a wine glass. I've already sent some out, and I'll be making some for my family dinner table at Christmas. So that's those. Let me just take a drink. I'm sorry, I suffer with a really dry mouth, so I constantly have to sip drinks. The next thing I'm going to show you is a beaded angel. This is not my idea. I followed a tutorial from Kathy's Favourite Things, which I will also link in the description. I've made a few previously, but I thought I would make some with the gorgeous beads that Nbeads sent me. They're a bit fiddly. I'm going to try and show you how to do them. I'll do my best today, but my fingers are quite stiff and I can't find my compression gloves. So I'll do what I can, and hopefully I'll be able to do it to show you how I done it. Or you could obviously just watch Kathy's video, because I'm sure she does a much better job than I do. So that's one of the beaded angels. Now just bear with me, because I had my other piece of wire on the table on my lap and I've lost it. I don't know what I've done with that. Right, I did have another piece of wire, but I don't know where I've put it. So just bear with me a moment. Let me just pause the video. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. It was on the floor. So you need a piece of wire. 24 gauge is what Kathy uses. And obviously a selection of beads that you're going to use. So I'm going to start you off and show you how to initially put the beads on. And then I'm going to move to one that I've already partly made. Because otherwise it will take me ages. So you need a piece of wire. This isn't quite long enough, but for the purpose of this video, because I'm only going to go so far with this one, it will be okay. So you need a piece of wire, 24 gauge, about 30 to 32 inches. Obviously, the bigger bead, the longer piece of wire you're going to need. The beads I've used this time are 4mm. So on this one, I've used the 4mm beads for the body and the wings and the halo. And then for the head, I've used the 8mm beads that Nbeads sent me. So all these beads are from Nbeads. So the first thing that you do is you find the centre of your wire. You fold it and then you put on one bead. And once you've got that bead in place, you then thread your wire, the other piece of wire, back through the middle to secure it. And it makes, I don't know if I can show you on this one, I should have probably chose bigger beads. It makes a loop like that. I'm just looking if I've got bigger beads. Just bear with me a moment. I'm going to take this off and show you on the bigger beads to start off with, because you're not going to see that. Just bear with me. Just going to pause the video. Right, so for the purpose of this bit, I'm going to show you with a bigger bead. These are out of my stash. I just think it'll be easier for me to show you with a bigger bead. So let me just pull these ones in. So you just put one end of the wire through and you thread it to the middle. Once you've got it at the middle, so I've threaded it with the left hand side. So once I've got it to the middle, I then take I've forgotten what I'm doing now, just bear with me. So you then take the wire and you thread it back through like so, and that forms a loop on the top of the bead. Then with the opposite piece of wire, you put on another 2 beads. Okay. Find the center, find the hole. and you thread them down to the middle. You then fold them over like that to form a pyramid, like so. And then with the opposite piece of wire, you thread that back through to secure the beads. It secures the beads, but it also keeps your wire moving down the pyramid, so that it's where you need it to be. Try to make sure that your wire isn't kinking, because it will not go through the beads properly if it kinks. So you've got 3 on there now. So with the left hand side, I now put on 3, and you keep going like this. I'll do up to about 4 with the bigger ones, and then I'll move to one I already pre-made. So you do 3, and again you bend it over, and then with the opposite piece of wire, you thread all the way back through. I can get it in that hole. There we go. So Kathy did this on a live. It's probably easier to do it like that. So I've now got 3 on there. If I just place that down, hopefully you can see that. So you can see, I'm hoping these are not glaring because these are iridescent beads. You can see how I've gone down in the pyramid, and by moving the wire alternately, it's looping all the way down. So you keep on going like this, and you add 1 extra bead per row. Okay, now on Kathy's video and the ones I made previously, I used a bigger bead. And Kathy suggests to use 9 rows. But with these smaller beads, I didn't think that 9 was enough. So I did an extra row, which I'll show you now, and what I continue. So I'm just going to finish this row. So they're fairly simple, they're just fiddly, and if you suffer with your hands like I do, it'll just take that little bit more time. So again, so you thread them in, and then once you've got them all on, you use the opposite piece of wire and you thread that back through. That secures the bead, but it also brings your wire down the pyramid. And you keep going with that until you've got your desired size. So as you can see on this one, I've got 10 rows. So I've done it in exactly the same way with the smaller beads, but I've gone down until I've got 10 beads. So you add 1 extra bead per row, and then you use alternate sides of the wire to bring the wire all the way down and to secure the beads in place. When you have got it with the 10, it will look like that. And you will have the wires on the bottoms. So you'll have 2 wires, 1 on either side. So we now need to make the wings. So let me move those out of the way. For this one, I've chosen to use these charcoal grey beads. So let me just get some of these on, and hopefully it won't take me too long. I hope everyone is well. Has everyone been crafting? If so, what have you been crafting? What have you been making? Have you all done with your Christmas presents? I'm only just starting, very behind. But then I'm normally a late shopper anyway. It's my son's birthday in November, and we always seem to wait until after his birthday before I start buying Christmas presents. So I'm only just starting. Sometimes with the beads, when they've got this pearlized effect on them, the holes aren't quite right. So you may have to put, open up the hole a little bit. All I generally do, if that is the case, is I get one of the eye pins and I push it through, and it usually removes anything that's covered the hole, because it's usually just the coating that they apply. So as you're putting the wings on, you just keep measuring to make sure that you've got enough that it reaches up to this piece here, which will be the neck. So we're not quite there yet, so just bear with me. How many have I got on there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I need another 3. One, 2, 3. So I've got 14 beads on there now, and I'm just checking and it reaches there. So let me turn that around so you can now see what I'm doing. So I've got 14 beads on my right hand side here, and I'm now going to take the end of my wire, which you can't actually see on the camera, and I'm going to push it through the hole of her neck there. So the same process as before, and that secures the wing. Okay, I'm not going to do the other wing because it will just take me too long. So for the purpose of the video, I'm going to pretend that I've got beads on this one side. So I've added my 14 beads to this side as well, and I would do the same, and I would put it through there like that. Okay, so say I am just pretending that I've got beads on that, because normally I'd carry on and do it, but my hands just aren't working properly today. So we've got beads on there, hypothetically. So that's what you would look like once you've got both angel wings done. And then all you would do is you would just shape them at the end to whatever shape you want the wings to be. Okay, so once you've got both wings done, we then need to add her head like we have here. So I've used the bigger bead for her head in the grey, the same colour as her wings. So the same process before. Oh, we're all tangled up here. So I've put the bead on, I'm going to fold it over, and then with the opposite wire, I'm going to thread that back through the hole to secure the bead in place. Just put it tight to make sure that it's tight. So it now looks like that. And obviously I would normally have beads on that one side. So you're still left with 2 pieces of wire. So now we need to make the halo. Sorry about that. So for the halo on this one, I think I used 8 beads, but we'll just count them. Yeah, so I've done 8 beads there to make her halo. So I'm not sure I do this the same way that Kathy's done, but this works for the way that, for me. So, you know, watch Kathy's video and she'll show you the way that she does it. But for the purpose of this video, I'm doing it the way that I found the easiest for me. And that's like with anything, isn't it? You know, we watch tutorials, and, you know, if something isn't working for you and you can do it a different way, or you're finding it easier to do it a different way, you know, it doesn't matter if you change it, because the item is still the same. I mean, I absolutely love these. I've made quite a few already. And normally they don't take me too long. And obviously with a bigger bead, they wouldn't take too long either. but with these small 4mm beads, they're just taking that bit longer, and my fingers are not working properly, so that doesn't help. Oh, I missed that hole. One more. So I've got my 8 beads on. So then, same process as we've done all the way along. Let me just move that wire out of the way. Is we roll the wire round, and we're going back through the whole of the head there. And that should hopefully, there we go, pull all her beads in to make her halo, like that. So then you have 2 wires here, and all I've done, which is where I don't think Kathy did, and I think I'm just being lazy and doing it the way that is easier for me. All I've done is just knotted it there, but tried to get it more around the neck. And I'm going to knot it twice, or you could just wrap it because it is wire. Obviously these are not suitable for children because they are beads and they are a choking hazard, and they are for decoration only. So there we go. I've now knotted the bead, the wire at the back, so, and I've done 2 knots so that won't fall off. So there's my angel. Obviously in normal circumstances that would have 2 wings, and then you just shape them to however you want the wings to be. So this one seems to have a more rounded, there we go, halo, but they're both the same, and they look really, really pretty hanging on something. And then with the extra wire here, you can make a loop to hang on your Christmas tree, or wherever you're going to hang them, or you could cut it off and add, you know, the strands that you get with the baubles that you buy. If you don't use all your baubles, you seem to have loads of those strands left over. You get them with tags and baubles, etc. at Christmas time. And then you can just add that as instead of the wire to make your loop, for you to be able to hang it. So I'm just going to place that one down there. So this is my project share for Nbeads. I'm just going to place these all down here in a row, and then I will lift up them again. So we have the wine glass charms, that's empty ones, and the angels, and that one's partially done. So that is what I've done for my first video, my first project share for Nbeads. Obviously here's the wine glass again to show you. Oh, that's just moved around. Let me just hold that in place. So there's the wine glass. Turn the charm around so we can actually see it in place, on the wine glass there. So that is my project share for my first video for Nbeads. Do go over to Kathy's channel and see how she makes her beaded angels. As I say, it is her idea, not mine, and it is through her tutorial that I've started making them. But they are really, really pretty. My daughter, we have a small Christmas tree on the sideboard in the hallway, where our Cinderella decorations go. We got the decorations years ago in Florida, and they've been on a white Christmas tree ever since. So they're now on a white fibre optic little tree in the hallway. My daughter's asked me to make some of these in white or silver, because that's the colour of my hallway, to go on the tree along with Cinderella. And obviously made some for my main tree in the living room. So yes, I can see me having to be making a few of these this year. But they are lovely, and they're very pretty. They are fiddly to do. but then that depends on your dexterity and also the size of the bead that you're using. And once you get the hang of them, they are very easy to do, and you can do them while watching telly. I've been doing them while watching YouTube, so that as long as you're counting and not carrying on past however long you want them, they do work quite well, and they're quite easy to do. They're just fiddly. So this is my first project share. I will link Kathy's channel down below, and I will also link Nbeads and all the products that Nbeads kindly sent me. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to Nbeads for giving me the opportunity to choose some of your items and to review them on your behalf. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's watched my video. If you've liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe. And if you hit the bell, then you'll receive notifications from when I upload a video. I will be uploading another Nbead share, project share within the next couple of days. And that'll be using the rest of the products that I receive from Nbeads. So all there is to say now is stay safe and thank you for watching. And until my next video, bye.